Yo, GM, what is good, everybody? Get this going in a few moments. Sending out the obligatory notifications and messages and posts before we get this underway. A big shout out to everyone that is joining me live. We will be firing up in a moment. Turn the music down a little bit. There we go. GM. What up, JJ? How you doing, my homie? GM. See a new face? Zero Koku is GM. Thank you for being here. Is this your first time joining, or have you joined in the past? Tuesday morning, markets are back open after the U.S. holiday yesterday, with a bunch of new geopolitical Trump shenanigans. Market responding negatively off the open. Take a quick look. Here's the H4 BTC chart with my relevant levels marked out. You can see how those levels, those high time frame levels, have been acting as areas where support has been found, but we are currently in a fairly significant downtrend. Something that I'm noticing right now is we are into the H12 range lows here. So if we lose this after that weekly SFP that closed Sunday night, if we get an H12 close below this level, we have a bearish market structure break on H12 following the weekly SFP, which is very clean signal. Still a lot of hours to go until the close. We've got just under 9 hours until the daily and H12 closes tonight. So there's a lot of time to repair this candle and get back up, and maybe we close as a H12 SFP here. Let's take a look on daily. Is that the same? So it's also the daily level. This is the daily range low. We don't want to flip bearish on daily again. This is the level we want to see hold. It's within our high time frame zone of interest. This box there area, our high time frame daily breaker zone. We want to see this hold. If this closes the daily SFP, again, just under 9 hours till the close, that would be a quality. That's the level we want to see hold. Let's just put it that way. All right, because last Sunday on the close, we got that weekly SFP that we pointed out during our last session, our daily close and weekly macro dashboard session. Well, we can see the follow through on weekly here. You can see we took out that inside week, right? We've been trading inside week now. This is going on the 9th week. We took out the high of the weekly candle that we've been trading within, as well as putting a bearish SFP. And moving down time frames, we got an H4 bearish flip with threatening an H12 in daily. Now we're finding buyers stepping in here, right? Like, oof, Jesus, my levels are fucking on point, right? Like, look at every level that we tag, right? We were long here yesterday. Anyone that's in the Telegram, we took a long from this region yesterday, and then we closed the Pico top there, right? Right now, it's a levels to levels, swing point to swing point market with a strategy that I use is very effective. We're just trading right now, H4 SFP to SFP. This was an H4 SFP. This was an H4 SFP. This was an H4 SFP. You had a momentary pause here on the level. This is why I will continue to stress and point out to each of you, mark out your high time frame levels. your H4, your H12, your daily, your weekly, your monthly levels, right? Right, the monthly levels, all you needed was those 2 levels. Now, within this, there's been a lot of fucking trades to take. But really, if you zoom out to super high time frames, why do those levels work? Or why do they get the strongest reactions typically? Well, it's because you get the largest amount of market participants entering the market on those moves, right? On a monthly level, you'll get monthly guys, weekly guys, daily, H12, H all the way down to M1. Whereas if you're just working off of low time frame levels, like your H1s, your M15s, your M5s, etc., you're only getting those low time frame participants getting into the mix. Whereas here, we're getting the whole market involved, right? So definitely not a fan of the fact that, but this again, we've talked about this in the past, how clean a weekly SFP is for Bitcoin as signal. In fact, for majority of assets, not even just crypto, a weekly SFP is some of the cleanest signal you can get. It signals a lot to the market. It signals a lot to everyone involved that, hey, we don't want to go beyond this point right now. And we looked at a few sessions ago, a bunch of the times BTC put in weekly SFPs and the follow through from those, right? That's what all these levels here are. Well, we're in a bearish weekly trend, bearish weekly SFP into a monthly level that we've had marked out for over a year at this point. And this is the follow through at the moment. We really want to see this level hold. We really want to see that daily and H12 swing low hold. Getting a decent reaction. I'm just trying to see if we've had, you know, we haven't even had an M1, the lowest time frame I traded. We haven't even had an M1 market structure break yet. In fact, you had a bearish M1 SFP after the bounce. Keep in mind, though, that M1 is super low time frame, and it's not always going to be clean signal, right? But we can see, even on M1, we're getting those M1 SFPs into the low time frame, short EMAs in a downtrend. Also interesting to note that as we came into the level, yes, we were getting some large market sell order bubbles, those aggressive sellers, those aggressive late shorters. We didn't get it into the level on M1. Let's take a look at M5. Did we get? No, we had a smaller one into the level. What about M15? Yeah, we were getting some on M15 there, right? I would prefer to see a big fat boy, one of those down in here. And we're seeing right now that this response is not overly strong yet. Keep in mind, though, the higher the time frame, the level, the longer that it potentially takes to play out before getting the confirmed hold or it losing the level. You tend to get a lot more chop down there. So you could trade below and back above and back below and back above throughout the day. But this is the level we want to see hold. Okay, starting to get a little bit of buyer step in. I really want to see this get flipped before thinking about taking a position. Flip that level, retag from the overside of those EMAs. We have a lot going on above us here, right? Let's take a look at ETH real quick. Oof, down 5.5% on the day. Let's take a look here. Let's put this up, get rid of the indicators. So ETH right now trading below the H12 swing low. Got an H12 SFP up there into, ooh, okay, See, when I tell you guys I haven't been as dialed in or as locked in on ETH and Sol, just mostly Bitcoin lately, you can see some things immediately here. Let's zoom out. Let's take a look at weekly. So weekly ETH has been stronger, and we pointed that out on Sunday, right? While Bitcoin was still trading within that inside week. Last week it closed above. Well, now we're back in. So is this just a deviation? Looking quite likely. So what did I just see? Why did I just say something when I saw that? Here on H12, we have an H12 SFP there, which put in a bearish H12 breaker, this down here, swing low that creates the SFP. We got an H12 SFP within that breaker. Now, the market structure break hadn't happened here yet, below the breaker, so the breaker was not fully validated yet. But you got an H12 SFP after an H12 SFP. And we can see the result here. This is not looking so great for ETH bulls. Not looking so hot for ETH bulls. That's a lot of work to do to repair this candle before the close, if it's going to. Unfortunately, yesterday, we didn't take the short after we exited those longs on Bitcoin, because that would have been a good move. Let's take a look at H4 here. Yeah, we're into a weekly level. We're trading below it on ETH. Let's take a look at Sol now. So I drew this last night. Obviously, this didn't play out. If you're in the teaching, I said maybe something like this happens on Solana, but there had been no long trigger, which I had said I'm not in position, and there wasn't a long trigger yet. And thank fuck that we didn't enter a long, because we're douche. So we can get rid of this now. This is not going to play out as that. Sol had been showing relative strength compared to Bitcoin and ETH. And we talked about in the chat, in the Telegram, anyone curious or interested to join the Telegram, by the way, there is a link in the description for this video on YouTube, as well as in my bio on X, where I share charts more frequently. Like if you're just following me on X, that's more of my, where I talk about my insights from my experience and the occasional setup. But if you're looking for more frequent setups, you know what? I need to get rid of this banner, because we're not going to start soon. Shortly, we're already live. So get that the fuck out of here. Doctor Who 69 says, yo, this wants 86K. For BTC, it's possible. You know, I just go level to level, though. I don't try and predict 2 or 3 moves in advance. I'm looking for those intraday swing moves. That's what I'm all about. Taking, traveling from one place to another, while that may be the final destination or the ultimate destination, there's a lot of counter moves, lower highs, lower lows. There's on multiple time frames, and that's what I'm all about, those intraday moves. You see the update, simple and successful strat. Yeah, it works for me. I really enjoy being intraday. I used to be more of a longer term type, swing type trader. I just prefer to be doing my business intraday and then closing out, and quite frankly, disconnecting from the market when I don't need to be involved. When I'm not in a trade, I don't have to think about it. I don't need to check the charts all the time. I have alerts set. It suits my life. It's a lot more, it allows me to have or be present in the real world a little bit more than I used to be. So on Solana, not looking so hot here either. And as I was talking about, there was relative strength. Well, that has got tossed out the window, right? When we were looking at our macro dashboard on Sunday, right? Sol BTC and Sol ETH were looking decent. Now Sol against ETH is looking strong. But ETH is looking like absolute ass, right? So that's why. But out of that, and as we also pointed out, that BTC strength, well, we're consolidating back into Bitcoin still. This is our macro overview dashboard. We went through it on Sunday. I'd like to review it on Sunday. And as we get a day or so into the week, just to see how the trend is continuing, keep in mind, these are monthly charts. So the analysis that we run on these, not a reason to take a trade. It's just where to focus your efforts. And it can take days or weeks to play out because it is that high time frame. It's just to give us a way to focus our efforts so we're not diluting our attention, because there's infinite amounts of assets in this market and we don't want to be focused in the wrong areas. Okay, let's go back to so Solana, not looking so hot here. I mean, it's come so close to this weekly level here. From here, I would like to just see it take it out, which seems likely, especially since we lost this level here. This is H12. We had the weekly SFP. The reason why I was on H4, that setup that I was showing here, I've erased now, but the reason why I was looking for that was on H12. After the weekly SFP, right? We had our weekly SFP on Sunday. We got the close, the confirmed close. We put it in H12, bearish breaker. I was looking for a move to take this into here to find a lower high, which may still happen at the moment. Not yet. Ultimately, this is where the next juiciest short, even though I'm talking about that I like intraday rather than swing, your next swing short, really you want to be targeting there if it's going to give that. Intraday, different story. I think from here, this needs to take this out. It's just so close, why wouldn't you see how this level's been important in the past, and that's just simply a weekly range quarter, right? From that inside week we've been trading in, this is that here. We're into one of the range quarters. Let's fucking take it out already, right? It's so close. Just take it out. Let's go jump back to BTC. Take a look and see what's going on. Okay, so this is looking decent. And there we go. On M1, you had the MSB. Wasn't paying attention. You had your M1 market structure break right there with this close above. It's already retagged it, but I think if we come back into here, you look for a trigger to get long on a retest into here. You take a look and see. Okay, so we recaptured the EMA 50 and the 13 and 21. We came up into the MA 100. A retest down into here. This is what we're looking to go long. I'm going to look to take a long off of here. Take a look on M15, see what's going on here. Right, we had those clusters of large market sells, those late aggressive shorters, FOMO shorting into our prime high time frame level. This is what you want to see. This is the fuel that gets us moving the other way, those late trap positions. So look at M5. Finding resistance here, but this is what's going to give us the higher low on M1, right? No need to rush here. The actual M5 market structure break. Oh, we've had an M5 as well. Okay, so let's box this out real quick so we have a zone of interest for where we're looking. There's M5, so here it is again on M1. Give me a pullback into here, even an M1 SFP somewhere around here. A bullish position SFP somewhere around here on M1. Let's go. Then we'll get long. You could, of course, take a limit right off that box, so you're shot below here. I'm a big fan of market entering, though, when I get my second and third order triggers. That's what I'm looking for now, right? This is the same as the trade that we took and outlined a week ago, when BTC put in that H4 SFP and the M15 market structure break. And then we took the trade off the M5 SFP within that breaker. I know that's a lot of fucking words being thrown at you. Over time, as you join on more of these live streams, these are all terms that I will use quite frequently. I'm sure most of you are aware of them if you've been with me on this journey for a while now, but if you have questions about any of that shit, just drop it in the chat and I will get to those. So now we're just waiting right now, right? What is my tagline? What is my philosophy? Process, patience, execution. Well, now we're having patience and then we're going to execute. Let's take a quick look. And I have my alerts on as well, right? So if we get a nice market bubble in here, sell bubble, or say an M5 SFP into here, I'll get alerted to that. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so ETH trying to reclaim that weekly range quarter. All right, this is why we mark out those high time frame levels. Let's see what we got. M15 would be a breaker up there. Let's mark that. That would be our M15 breaker, which is the entry fractal that we look for. You want that low time frame market structure break to get you on board the trend at the first pullback. That's what that's all about. Let's take a look at M5. Okay, so M5, where's our breakers? The M5 breaker is the same as the M15, so we're not going to make any adjustments there. What we'll do is we'll look on M1 though, for 1 minute. See, we keep getting bearish M1 SFPs. What I would like to see, if we're going to try and jump the gun on this, which I don't recommend, especially if you're new to the strategy, new to the system, is you want to wait for that market structure break, but an alternative acceptable way to get on board is if you get a bullish SFP within here, because we have a feeling that the local low is in, just given the aggressiveness of the sell-off and after the New York Open and US markets being live for the first time this week, and crypto being a very liquid way for TradFi to express their views on the geopolitical landscape, it was expected that we'd get a little bit of volatility and sell-off this morning. I think it was an overreaction given that we already had sell-off across the weekend. I think we're hunting a local low here, at least for an intraday long, right? So there we go. There's an M1 SFP taking place there as we're recapturing these moving averages. Given that ETH has been, I don't know that ETH is where I want to focus, right? We just looked at the macro dashboard and ETH BTC looked shit and Sol ETH looked stronger and BTCD looked stronger. So ETH would not be the asset that I'd want to focus on right now. Let's take a look at Sol one more time, see if we've put in, okay, I really would like Sol to just fucking take up that level, because right now I have nothing to frame the trade around. Go to H4, is there anything over here that, yeah, even this H4 level right here is just below there. Just fucking take that level out, and then we have something to frame the trade around. So we're going to keep our focus on BTC right now, right? We've already had the M5 market structure break. But see, this is why you don't chase on a move like this. This is why you wait for the pullback, because we're getting those M1 SFPs into the moving averages here. You don't want to buy this. You want to buy somewhere here. And that may take a little bit of time. It doesn't have to happen right now. There's no reason, right? As we go along and as you follow along this journey more and more, and you see these real-time live trading sessions, you will see how often these trades unfold, especially the type of setups that I look for, but there's never a reason to chase. I still think we're going to pull back into here and we're going to get our optimal entry, and there's our long, right? It may take a little bit of time to go up a bit before it comes back down. But as of right now, I haven't had a trigger other than when it made that MSB right there. There was your retest. I would prefer, and you can see now we're starting to get those M1 SFPs into the moving averages. I would like something to come down into here, give me a setup in here, then we'll go long. Boom. Okay, we're just waiting. Does anyone have any chart requests, any shit coins, any alts you want me to look at? Just drop it in the chat and I will get to it in time. But I can guarantee you, I don't check the timeline per se too much anymore. Oh, let's switch this music up. This one's been playing for a while. What are we gonna play? Let's Play something. Play something. Let's drop this. Oof. Sounds like a bomb about to explode. There we go. Oh. Oh. Get my Rick Ross on. Oh. Got my coffee rocking. Give me that pullback. Give me that pullback. Otherwise, I have no trade, right? What is it that I tweeted it? I posted it. Let me see. Where did I post that? Open my. Right? The strategy that I approach my trades with. I keep it simple. And it's built around that mantra or philosophy that I like of process, patience, execution, right? We get our high time frame signal. That's the initial stage of the process. Give me that high time frame SFP. Give me an interaction at my high time frame level. That's why we enforce and are so sticky on telling you all to mark out your high time frame levels, because that just makes your job easy. You just wait for your level to hit. That's your process. Give me that high time frame SFP. Give me that high time frame level. Then on the mid time frame, we get our setup, right? So at the moment, what is that? Our mid time frame setup on BTC is the breaker, right? It's an M5 breaker. This is our setup. We've had a market structure break on M5. Now, what am I waiting for? The low time frame. The low time frame trigger. Yes, M5 is still very low time frame, but this is what we had to work with so far. We don't have anything higher time frame yet that's given me the setup. So the low time frame. Now, I'm here being patient, waiting for the low time frame setup to trigger. Until then, I don't chase. I used to chase, and that just led me to buying without a clear invalidation and often buying the local turn. I'd much rather enter with the lowest margin for drawdown, even if it means waiting. Like, yes, you could say, well, this is taking place. Are you missing this? No, I'm not, because really, after the market structure break on M5, the initial signal, the initial setup, this has only been a few minutes and it hasn't moved much, right? Like, this is just slow grinding. I'm looking for that pullback into here. Then we'll get a long, or another M1 SFP into these moving averages. It doesn't have to be in the box. I'm just monitoring, waiting for that third order trigger, right? Oh, over here. There we go, right? DYOR and says XD. Oh my God, this is going to age me, but XD is what? Is that tongue out? What does XD mean? Is that tongue out? In texting. What is XD? Yeah, okay. It just means tongue out. There we go. Aging myself there. Okay, see, look, we're having patience. We're getting those M1 SFPs into there. I'm not looking to short this because we've already had a lot of opportunity for that. I'm looking for this to be the turn. Give me something down into here. I really like, I'm just going to be a little bit more patient. I don't see a need to rush this. Give me something down into here. Now we're just patient. This is the way that I've been breaking this down for you guys. It's clear. It makes sense the way that I process the market, the way that my actual process, how I go through and I trade. This is real-time live insights into what I do. I have my exchange account open in another panel. And I have my desired position size set up. And now I'm just waiting. Give me that trigger down in here, and then I'll take the long. Right? And see, we're having patience. Now we're starting to get that turnover. Give me something down in here that I can use, and we are going to go long. anyone have any questions, any comments, any charts you want me to take a look at? Ooh, I almost forgot. I didn't share my little outline for the session. We're here for Rapture, Scalp, and Swing sessions number 4, live perps trading and analysis. This is our New York Open session, our AM sessions. Today, we are looking at live trade setups and low time frame execution. We've gone through BTC, ETH, and SOL, looked at our high time frame levels, the areas that we're looking to do business. We've come into some of those levels. Now we are looking for the entry. We'll also get a look at a couple alts and some H4 levels. I want to start drilling into you guys the importance of these H4 SFPs, H4 swing levels, H4 levels, H4 and above. But really on alts, H4 is the time frame you want to be operating on. And some chart requests if they come in. Let's bring this back over here. Doran, based on previous New York Open, they continue to sell. We don't have any buyers besides Staler. Do you think this trend will change? I don't want to try and predict that because I'll just be able to see here. Okay, I'll share another screen. Let's share this. This is MMT Pro. Wonderful order flow platform. A wonderful order flow platform. Just bear with me while I set it up properly so that the screen is proper. Ooh, it is struggling to, I might have to reload. It's in the background. Let me reload it. There we go. Okay. This is MMT Pro. Modern Market Monkey Terminal. That's what it is. Apologies. Shout out to my boy Anth over at MMT. They built a really solid platform here for order flow. Now, you guys have heard me mention in the past, I went down the order flow rabbit hole through the summer. Ooh, we're getting some lag this morning. Not what I love to see. Now, is that my internet or is that the platform? Okay, I need this to load. Come on, come on, come on. Ooh, flashbang. This seems like a possible issue with the platform at the moment. Not a great selling feature for me sharing them right now. But shout out to Anthony and the team over at MMT. Wonderful lads. They ship relentlessly. They are absolute shipping beasts. Now, you guys have heard me talk about in the past that I am more of an order flow light kind of approacher. What does that mean? When we get into key levels or moments in time, I like to look to the order flow to see who's in control. Now, let's take a look here. So, can I mute this? Can I mute this? No, I can't mute it while it's active on here. So you hear the little dinging and stuff like that. What that is the buys and sells across exchanges. So what do we have here? We've got Coinbase spot over here. We have Binance spot over here. We have Binance Perps, USDTT on the chart here, but the CBD for Binance Perps, Bybit Perps. Oh, hold on a second. What is going on here? Let's adjust this. This should be Bybit. Binance, Bybit, and this should be Hyperliquid. Let me adjust this. You all see what I'm using here. There we go. So, this is our perps. This is CVD, meaning the cumulative volume delta. Who's in control? Buyers versus sellers. The delta between those. Over here, this is the CVD on spot. Binance spot. This is the CVD on Coinbase spot. So, Coinbase had been buyers, which coincided with that strong leg up. During that same period, Binance started buying on spot, right? We want to see spot buying to support the move if we're going to be experiencing a turn. And we can see the importance of the spot here, right? Well, look at this. Zoom in here. We can see now Binance spot, which is the largest exchange, the largest participants in the market, flipped to selling aggressively. So that's not great. Especially you can see it exactly aligned with the local top. This is not great to see. Coinbase spot has also leveled off. So to answer your question, Doran, about that, do I think the trend will change? It doesn't look like it has at the moment, especially given today's the turn of the US market open. It's good to keep note of, but that doesn't overly affect my intraday trading. If you're taking swing positions, this is something you 100% want to be aware of, and I do pull this chart up from time to time in the Telegram and outline what is taking place in the market. It's been a few days since I've taken a look, and this is actually really solid to see that Binance spot is driving this move through aggressive selling, right? But this is, you want to see something wild? Let's full screen this, zoom out, put this on another time frame. Let's go H4. We're here, zoom out. It's going to take a second to load. We got to load all that data. You know what? Order flow takes up a lot of data. And it sometimes takes a moment to properly load the chart. I don't know what that connecting is all about today. Hey, Ant, if you're hearing me, you gotta look into that. So, you want to see something fucking wild? Flashbang. You see this line here? This is the CVD, the cumulative volume delta for Binance spot. This is them. Now, them may not be a specific entity, but people that use Binance as an exchange, CZ, relentlessly selling spot. Relentlessly. This is just continuous spot. Some moments of pause out, but relentlessly selling spot. And what we can see, let's just take a note from here. Let's measure down to here. Oh, come on. What is going on? Why does it... Oh. Come on. Not a fan of the fact that this keeps glitching on me. I was trying to measure the amount of spot that they've sold from here. Well, it looks as though some 400,000 and change coins have been sold on spot. I'm just measuring that distance there. Right? So it's not great. To answer your question, let me switch screen. Let me switch to this. So to answer your question, Dora, it's not great that there's been that much relentless selling, but I just trade level to level. It's great to be aware of all that stuff, but you can't let it force you to inaction. If I see a trade, you want to take a trade. And look at this. Remember we said when we were here, I was like, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait. But now I want to see the trigger take place here. This is why we have patience. This is why we wait for our setup, because buying here, when your invalidation is all the way down here, into those averages, getting that short-term bearish signal, you're underwater, you're like, well, fuck, I'm going to cut, right? I would much rather wait. And even still, I want one more trigger in here. Give me an M1 SFP in here. Zero Koku asks, do you use static R% for every trade? No. That is depending on the setup, right? Like given this is an M1, first of all, it's an M5 setup, right? With an M1 trigger. I will use a smaller position size off of that, because even though we're into the daily level, this is a very low time frame trigger. But given that we're so tight here, even with a smaller position, right? Let's say we get our entry somewhere here, put our stop down here. And by the way, I'm mostly using manual stops these days because I like to monitor the price action, and if there's a reason for me to exit before the actual invalidation, I will, because I'm looking such low time frame. I can monitor real time and get on board again, if I see what I'm looking for, and also reduce any risk of drawdown. Not zero drawdown, but I'm really into being tight on my invalidations and limiting drawdown. Say we get a trigger in here. That's all the distance we need for 2R. Well, say this ends up being a more intraday swing rather than a scalp. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the H1 for a second. Okay, so you have an H1 swing there, so we'd be targeting somewhere up there. That's a 2-to-1, but if you're waiting on ultimately, if this ends up being an H12 daily H4 SFP, you'd be targeting somewhere up in here, right? And then all of a sudden, from that super tight entry, you can be getting a 5R type trade, right? So you can get away with a much smaller position size. You're asking about static R % for every trade. So are you asking in terms of my target or in terms of my position size? I recommend for people new to this strategy to just go for 2-to-1. Why do I say that? Well, it encourages, or it builds a few things. It enforces sticking to your process and your rules. It also reduces the risk of, like, how often do you get a 2R? You say, oh, I'm going to hold, shit's bullish as fuck, only for you to look back a little bit later and you got stopped out, or you're back to your entry and round trip, right? So when you're new to this specific strategy, the way that I like to trade, I recommend just going for your 2R. And look at how easily you can get a 2R. Where do we have to go to get a 2R here? Right to where that H1 swing high is, right? And if you're using a more dynamic or manual stop out, when you're entering, you have the potential to risk even less, right? Depending on where we get our entry. Because if I'm monitoring live, real time, or what I want to, how I'm going to exit, right? So it's very dynamic. Hopefully that answers your question, Zorokoku. Doran, I'm saying this because of the swing level, there aren't many high time frame buyers, which leads me to think that if we don't have high time frame buyers, we should see range lows sweeping all those untapped lows, assuming we only see the flow at the moment. Well, BTC right now is at the daily range low and the H12 range low. We are at the range low right now. So this is where I would expect the most to step in, the participants to step in. I'm really big fan of the phrase, I want to be looking for reasons to get long or bullish at range lows and reasons to get bearish or short at range highs. We are at the range lows right now. This is the last place you want to get pussy and say, I want to be shorting here. I don't want to. No, you want to be manning up and looking for a reason to take a position. You may be wrong. It may not hold. And sorry, I'm not calling you specifically. I'm just saying you don't want to get, this is why we have those levels marked out, so that when price gets there, you're not confused. Your range low is at 83K. On what time frame, and why is that your range low? Like, here's H12. This is your swing low that created the swing high of a bullish H12 range. This is your range low. You may use a different strategy and system, and that's fine. But you saying that your range low is 83K, why? What about here is the range low? I just don't really. What time frame on daily? Why is that your range low? When you have a swing low here that created a swing high, making your daily range and a bullish range. 83K down here. Are you saying this is the bottom of your range? This low that we set over here at 80K? Like, I don't really see a reason for 83. Like, this is 83K right here. There's nothing here to tell me that this is a range low. This is your swing low that created a swing high, creating a higher high, making a market structure break above the previous swing high, right? Like, this was our bullish range from here to here. This was a bearish range, then we flipped bullish. This was a range there to there. We flipped that with a market structure break above there. Now we're into the daily range low. This is for the strategy and system that I use. And I'm not discrediting or talking against any other sort of strategy. This is just how I analyze the market. So personally, this is the daily range low. We've had this level now marked since the 12th. It's now the 20th. And back on, let's see if I can find it. Here we go. I've been talking about looking for a setup in here. Now, disregard exactly where the orange squiggle is. I said that I'm looking for something like this one here. And there's our range low that has been marked, right? I said hunting next BTC longs in this box. That's where we are now. We're in the box. We're putting in a potential SFP of the daily range lows or the strategy and system that I use. There are many different systems. Like maybe you're talking about it based off of TPO. Maybe it's based off of volume profile. There's many different ways to arrive at how you analyze and draw a range. The way that I use, the way that I was taught is very specific. And this is our daily range low. And it tends to, for me, has held and worked over the long enough time frame of being reliable as the way that I analyze charts. All right? We're into the daily range low. Yearly VWAP 4 hour, well, the 4 hour the H4 EMA 200, we're at slash sort of below that now. This is the H4 EMA 200 right here. This orange line right here is the H4 EMA 200. We're now into the H4 MA 300 on a bullish aligned moving average band, right? You want to go from lowest length to highest aligned. Well, that's 50, 100, 200, 300. That's a bullish band. Now we're into the 300, which aligns exactly with our daily range low. Right, a lot of confluence here, and we're getting those large, aggressive late sellers on H4 here. This is looking increasingly like a local bottom, and exactly where I would expect it to take place. Yearly VWAP. Okay, let's take a look at yearly VWAP. I don't really use VWAP too often, other than outside of session VWAP or daily. Well, right now we're below the. Is that the 30-day? Let's take a look. I've forgotten the alignment of these because I use them so infrequently. Which one is the purple VWAP? Rolling VWAP number 2. So that's the 30-day. We're trading below the 30-day, below the 90-day, below the weekly rolling VWAPs. You're saying yearly is down there. Let's pop the yearly up then. Probably do an anchored yearly. Should I put that on? I put that on anchored VWAP 3. I mean, it's telling me we're below on a daily. We're below an anchored. I guess we probably want that to be rolling. Okay, let me adjust that real quick. Let's make this one, the blue one, let's make that yearly real quick on rolling. I mean, we're below it. What yearly VWAP are you saying is down here at 83K? I'm not seeing it. Anyways, let's not get derailed too much here. The last pump pre-breakout of the range was a good point of pre-break of the range. Like down here or down here? Let's get back over here. Ah, shit. There was our trigger. Okay. Right, well, we've talked about having patience. There was your M1 SFP within the M5 breaker, bullish SFP. That was your trigger. You get the SFP, you enter on the close. It's close enough here. Maybe I'll scale. It's coming back into the breaker a little bit. Okay. Scaled in partial position there, taking it on. If it pulls back a little bit more and gives me another SFP in here, I'll enter a little bit more. Put in a third of what I would normally put on a position like this. And we're already in profit. Let's go. Let's fucking go, baby. But does everyone see how we got everything aligned? We have our high time frame level daily. We got our M5 bullish breaker, right? Our market structure break on M5. We retagged into the breaker M1 SFP. Into the breaker, we go long. And there we go. Live and in action. We are long and we are in profit. Now, to target, where might you target for exits? Well, we're looking for interactions up into these other moving averages as well as the session VWAP, which is the green line. Let's fucking go, baby. We are long. Right? But I will continue to enforce that. Have your patience. Get your high time frame. Wait for your high time frame level to hit. Get that secondary signal, which is your setup on your mid time frame, whatever time frames you like to use. As you guys see, I like to have my 6 time frames that I like to operate off of live and in front of me at all times. We just had an H4 close, so we got an H4 SFP confirmed here. Yes, it's a daily and H12 level, so I don't want to get too excited yet, but we've had our SFP. We just got the close. At that time, you guys heard that alarm go off. I've talked about before. I have alarms set up for every H4 candle close and H12 candle close, and for when the New York session begins, which is really early in the morning, and for when the New York opening bell takes place, as well as the close for the London. Like, I have alarms set at key moments in time. And look at this. Let's take a look at our progress. Nope. Why did that go to H12? This was H1, M1. Here's our progress. We're up into the first average that we're monitoring. We are well into profit. About 3% off of what I'm using. I am using 10x leverage, and I used a partial position. I didn't put the full size position that I would have put on because I didn't get the actual entry that I would have taken here because we were looking at a few other things, but I entered just after that. We are well into profit. And look at how that moving average is now acting as resistance. So on a scalp, had I gotten my entry here, you enter on the close, manual stop, but Jesus, that's not real. Let me delete that for a second. Let's try that again. You enter on the low, put your stop down there. So we're targeting somewhere up in here if we're basing it off our stop there. Given that we had that tight entry, we can actually tighten this up so that we've got it on manual. I don't have an actual stop loss in place at the moment. I'm just trying to show you into that, get out of here. Into that average, off of an entry like that, you're already at 3.5 hours. You can ride this as long as you want. We are still in. We're seeing this move up. I think we're going to target the daily VWAP at a minimum here. We are long. But someone was asking, okay, let's get back here. So in regards of risk percent, of risk, like 1%. Given that this is intraday scalping and I'm looking to take multiple trades, depending on the level, the time frame of the level and the setup, I will take anywhere from 0.5% to 2%, depending on the level and the type of setup that we're seeing. Since this was an M5 breaker, which is still a very low time frame, and an M1 entry setup, I will use a smaller percent of account size because we don't have to move very far to get a similar result, right? And look at that. Look at this move. We've done exactly what we were looking for here. I would like to see us get up either into this level, that high time frame level we have marked out, right? This level here, or this MA 300, or the daily session VWAP. Expected that pullback. Okay, let's get rid of this now. Expected that pullback into the EMA 200 on M1. It's doing as it should. Now we're looking for this little area for the next buyers to step in, but we are long and we are happy right now. And look at that. We're an hour into the session and we got a live setup in the books. Let us fucking go. Just looking through the chat if there's any more. You were saying that price is at one standard dev. Yeah, standard devs are great. Standard devs are great. If you're more focused on high time frame, I would recommend joining for the daily close and evening sessions. These daytime sessions will be a lot more focused on intraday moves as well as scalping. Low time frame entries. And those evening shows, the nighttime sessions, will usually be on Sunday, sometimes on sometimes Tuesday nights possibly, but today we're doing a Tuesday morning show. Probably do a next New York Open session on Thursday morning again. I'm aiming to do at least two sessions per week, but ideally 3. We'll get 1 PM session to get our high time frame levels so you guys can follow along as we're marking out our high time frame swing levels. And then 1 to 2 live trading sessions. And now we're just patient. Not bothered by this pullback at all. It's normal. We are monitoring in real time though, so if we need to close out. But I'm looking for the next move to come from here, the next set of buyers to come from here. Look at that. We're getting a possible M1 SFP right into here. This is what we want to see. So far looking good. Come on, let's get back up there. There we go. Looking for this to hold as the higher low on M1. Give me something up into here, up into here, up into here, or a bearish M1 SFP, and we'll look to exit because this is just a scalp. This is a super low time frame trade. And we're at about 2.5% on that move. As I was saying, I use 10x leverage. I don't like to use much more than that. And mostly just use it as a way to control balance size and not about the leverage itself, right? Just so that you're not having to expose your capital on exchange. Let's see what happens here. This may not hold, but we're on board the trade. We're long at the moment. I would like to see a reason to exit if I need to. So far, not yet. Let's see what happens. Any other questions from you lads? Any requests you might have? Any shitcoins you might want us to look at? Don't mind looking at a couple altcoin charts if you have any requests. Okay, getting the reactions we want to see, right? As of yet, no reason to worry. Check a couple other time frames. Let's see what's been happening on. That's M1 again. M5 looking decent, finding support after it flipped the low time frame, the short movement at EMAs. M15 was taking place. So that's why we're finding some resistance up in here. Needs to start flipping that. H1, I'd really like to see us get up into here. This is the move that we're looking for up into here. Let's extend this box out a little bit more. Give ourselves a little bit more visual context, right? And what do these boxes do? They just give us the target zone. It's where we're looking for the setup, for the triggers. And so far, we're looking all right. Let's switch up the vibe again. We're gonna go with okay, come on. Come on. And we're still in the trade. We're still patient. Let's come down a bit. We shall monitor this a little bit longer. But we've come up on the 1 hour. I want to try and get these sessions down to 1 hour so that I'm not holding you hostage for time. So we're going to monitor this trade a little bit longer. Potential M1 SFP here into those short moving averages. Come on. Give us that last little move up so that we can exit this trade and be on with our day to hunt the next setup. But I'm going to wrap this up shortly. We're just past the 1 hour mark. I want to keep these shorter. I want to be respectful of everyone's time, and I want to keep them as impactful and useful as possible. Would have loved to have gotten, even while we're up into here, a bearish SFP. I really want to see price get up into here though. So if we get another bullish M1 SFP, we could compound, try and add on to the position. But now that we're coming back towards the breaker, we may want to be considering our next move here. We're still in profit, up about 1%. At peak, we were 3%. Let's try and get back to that 3%. Let's see what happens here. And yes, these indicators, the Lux Algo SFP swing failure pattern indicators, they do reprint. They do repaint. I don't give a fuck about that though. What I want is to see the visual cue so that I can help me get on board a trade or not. And I understand that they repaint for a reason. Getting a reaction. Come on, let's go, baby. Let's go. Okay, lads. Well, if there's no further questions and no chart requests for today, we are on board this long right now. It has the potential to turn into something larger than just a scalp, but at the moment we're approaching it as a scalp until proven otherwise, right? And what would get me to think that it has more to it than that? Well, give me that M15 breaker, right? What would that look like? That would be this region here. Flip this bullish, give me a market structure break above there on M15. Then you're looking at more of a longer intraday move, possibly swing type move. But at the moment, since we're existing on an M5 breaker and an M1 setup or M1 trigger, looking decent so far though. We're back to that 3%. Okay, there we go. Let's go, baby. We're starting to see relative volume pick up on the buy side here. We're back, we're above that M1 EMA 200. Get me up into here. Give me a signal, get out. Let's complete this trade live here for you lads. Hopefully some of you entered the position with me. A bit bummed that I was distracted momentarily and we didn't get this entry, but we entered right here. And we are looking solid. And that's really all that you need if you're scalping to get the type of percent you're looking for. We're up to 4% on this move now. We're pushing up into the level that I outlined, up into the MA 100, the MA 300, the moving average, the simple moving average 100. There's your daily VWAP, your session VWAP. We have our session levels here, the Asian low. York high, London high cluster right there. We got our previous daily low, daily open, etc. We have targets up there. Give me a push up, and they give me a trigger to exit. Oh, we've got a potential. See how that just popped up? So we have a potential M15 SFP here. So we've got a minute and a bit to close. If this closes as an M15 SFP, that will be my signal get out. But if we close above, I'm going to stay in. So we're going to keep monitoring this. Do you see how these alerts become very useful? Now, you may be asking, how do you get those alerts? See, now the indicator is showing us that we're back below, right? So the alert was early warning sign. Well, this alert is from a suite of SFP screeners that I built for my personal use. Maybe in the future I might open them up, figuring that out. I've ran a boot camp with some friends, a month-long boot camp built around this strategy, and I may open up new slots for a boot camp in the future if you want to get direct training on that using the screeners to make your workflow easier. I'm not sure how I'm going to approach that yet, but that's how I get these alerts. I needed a tool and I built the fucking tool. That's part of my job, right? If I want to be a trader for a living, if I want my job to be trading. Now, it's looking likely that this is going to close as an SFP. I'm hovering over the sell. This may continue to move up, but we've got 3% out of this move. I don't want to round trip, given that this was a scalp entry. I would prefer this to be a longer move, but if this is what's going to happen here, right? See, M15 is about to close. M15, M5, those close as SFPs. And I exited. Not a crazy move, but we got a scalp here live, and you see how we're starting to sell off from that SFP. Maybe it continues up, but I want to wrap this session up. We're a little bit over an hour now. We went through top down how to get on board a trade intraday here live on BTC, so that you can know what to look for in the future and realize that you can make a living out of these trades. You don't have to be high time frame. The beauty of low time frame is it gives you a lot of target practice. Gives you a lot of room for executing on trades and gives you a lot of opportunity to iterate on your strategy. Looks like we could have a little bit longer, but you know what? Given that we got the M15, we're back above it now. Is what it is. Now we can look for the next entry. But I do recommend, if you're trying to figure out your strategy, trying to figure out your system, trying to figure out your process, focus on high time frame levels. But into those high time frame levels, go down to low time frame, learn the type of interactions of price that you want to see at your levels to get you on board the trades. And that's what I outline here. That's how I trade. All right, everyone, if there's no further questions, I may look to get back on board this trade because it's looking decent again. Give me another pullback into here. Give me some sort of SFP here. Maybe what I'd like now is to get an M5 SFP. Lit, you want me to look at the lighter chart? You want to see the lighter? Lit, is that what you're asking for? No problem. There we go. I mean, it looks terrible. Another fresh daily lower low. Let's adjust our range. Here's the range high on daily. Let's adjust our, this is daily supply, daily range high. Let's go to H12. I mean, it looks like shit. Now, however, MSB here. Fresh lower low. Let me know what I'll do. As you guys know, I like to leave my levels for reference in the future as potential areas for swings. This doesn't look great. It's the daily lower low, H12 lower low. Let's take a look at H4. Did this SFP, or was that a fresh lower low? No, it didn't even SFP it. It was a fresh lower low. Okay, I briefly touched upon using H4 levels on alts. H4 SFPs on altcoins. Boom, boom, boom. Some of the cleanest signal you can have. Really make a habit of marking out your H4 levels on alts. Right, like there's a level there, that was a level there. Make a habit of marking out your H4 levels on alts. Right, and they are some of the cleanest, most actionable setups you can get. And what I would look for, so okay, say you're asking, okay, what do I look for when I get an H4 SFP? How do I take that trade? So let's just draw this out. So now we have the visual guide of our swing level and SFP on H4 right there. Then I go to M15. All right, so this was us here. This was the SFP here. Well, then I go to M15. I look for where the SFP was. It's right here. Outline our breaker. Close below. Short the box. There you go. Right? This was your H4 SFP. That little wick right there. This is the breaker that created that H4 SFP on M15. We can even drill down to M5, see if we can tighten that up even more, although that's super tight already. Yeah, so here it is on M5. It's like, you don't get more precise than that. And look at how that held. That's your M5 breaker off your H4 SFP. There's our level right there. We're shorting that box. Just a quick breakdown of how I would approach that. But at the moment, not to brag, but I sold my airdrop in this area up here. This was not an SFP, so it is an important level to monitor. I would monitor up here for a potential short SFP trigger. Or if you get, say this closes, it's still a while to go. Just under 4 hours, we just had an H4 close. But if this closes somewhere up here and you get a swing level here, give me that SFP. I really love H4 SFPs, especially on alts. On all coins, to be perfectly honest with you. I trade H4 levels on BTC, ETH, and Sol, but on altcoins in particular, that's the time frame you need to be existing. Forget anything lower, and even anything higher. H4 trend and levels for alts are where you want to be existing. Right, so let's put this back on H12. Let's go look over here. We can see, look, we're below all the averages on H4. Let's take a look at H1. We're below all the averages on H1. We're even getting H1 SFPs here. Starting to flip M15, but as you can see here, into the M15 range high, we SFP'd. So take that as you will. Okay, yeah, no problem, Doran. Happy to do it. Let's just pop back real quick to BTC, see what's been happening here. Well, we sold in here. It moved up a little bit more. You got that next M1 SFP, but I'm happy with the trade. We pulled it off live. We got over 3% on that move. It's a good day. I hope you guys see the process and are starting to take some of these trades and follow along and learning the process that I use. It's all fractals, right? Like when I do my high time frame shows, when I do the Sunday evening sessions, the daily close, the weekly macro dashboard, the way that I outline setups there on the higher time frame, it's just a fractal on the lower time frame, and this is where I exist on the lower time frame. I want to give a shout out to everyone that joined me here live. I appreciate each of you for joining in during the session. This New York open session with our live trade setups and low time frame execution. We looked at BTC, ETH, and Sol. We didn't look at many alts. We looked at Lighter just now, and the importance of H4 levels. And that was also a Trump request. So that tied in nicely and beautifully there at the end. I do appreciate each and every one of you that join me live. Got to do the obligatory like, subscribe, and comment if you're enjoying what we're doing here. Like the post, subscribe on YouTube if that's where you're joining us from, or consider joining us on YouTube. Help me grow the channel so that I can continue to put out these sessions and to continue to provide value for you guys. If you're finding value in what I'm doing, if you're taking the trades, if you're learning how to trade based off of my process, this process that has been in the works that I developed over 4 years, but really over the last year is when I went back to foundations and rebuilt from the bottom up to get to this place now where I'm consistent and fucking enjoying it. So like, subscribe, and comment wherever you're joining us from, whether that's on X Live or whether that's on YouTube. Follow me for fuck's sakes. I think I just broke that 3,000 follower threshold. It's taken me a long time. It's been a slog. You provide value, it's a little bit harder. If you provide this type of approach, level-headed, consistent levels-based trading, it's a harder path than being the trencher or being the always bullish guy or the always like. I don't like to be bullish or bearish. I like to just trade my levels. It's consistent for me, and I think if you start taking that approach, it will be consistent for you too. So I appreciate everyone that's with me on this journey. And on that, I'm signing out. Rapture out.